Deputy President William Ruto and former broadcaster Joshua Arap Sang are celebrating the triumphant exit from the Hague-based International Criminal Court after a 6-year legal battle to shake off the crimes against humanity charges they were facing. But 3 Kenyans are still on the ICC radar after warrants of arrest were issued against them for alleged interference with the prosecution witnesses in the Ruto Sang case that collapsed yesterday. Journalist Walter Osapiri Baraza, lawyer Paul Gisheru and Philip Kipkoech Bet are wanted men at The Hague to answer to charges of corruptly influencing and tampering with witnesses to obstruct justice. A warrant of arrest against Baraza was issued in August 2013, while warrants against Gisheru and Bet were unveiled in September last year. But prosecutor Bensouda claims the Kenyan government was reluctant to hand over the 3 suspects for trial at The Hague.
I call on the authorities of the Republic of Kenya to surrender these 3 suspects to the court so their guilt or innocence of the charges against them may be determined in a trial.
Though ICC trial chamber judges Chile Ebuo Suji and Robert Fremer, in a majority ruling, terminated the case against Ruto and Sang, they observed that prosecution witnesses were tampered with and the court process interfered with politically, and that's why they did not outrightly acquit the 2 suspects, but declared the proceedings a mistrial, granting the prosecutor the right to re-prosecute the case at a later date, should she find new evidence.
This case was ultimately eroded by a perfect storm of witness interference and intense politicization of the court's legal mandate and work. There was a relentless campaign to identify individuals who could serve as prosecution witnesses in this case and ensure that they would not testify.
The termination of the Ruto Sang case brought to a close the trial of 6 Kenyans identified in 2010 by the then ICC prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo as the persons bearing the greatest responsibility for the 2007-2008 post-elections skirmishes. But 2 years later, cracks began to appear when the pre-trial chamber confirmed charges against President Uhuru Kenyatta, Ruto, Sang and former head of public service Francis Mudhaura, but released Henry Kosgei and former police commissioner Hussein Ali. Shortly after, Mudhaura was let off the ICC hook for lack of evidence, and in December 2014, President Kenyatta's charges were withdrawn even before his trial commenced. And at 6 p.m. yesterday, Ruto and Sang had their freedom confirmed through a written communication, Bensouda considering her next move.
We are currently in the process of carefully assessing the trial chamber's decision to determine the appropriate next steps.
Francis Gashuri's Citizen Business Center.